then, sorry it's been a little while, but as you can probably see, I've moved house. At the end of the last show, I said that I'd do a Defensor review. At the time, I was waiting for my Defensor to show up, as my girlfriend had just ordered it off eBay for me, for my birthday. I picked it out myself, so I was awfully surprised to find out when it showed up that it was a knockoff. I should have spotted it, really. Firstly, it's the wrong colour. Secondly, it's tiny. The guys have got both Autobot and Decepticon stickers on them. Finally, if there'd only been a photo with a box art on eBay, I would have run a mile. Whirlbird, patrol wagon, motorcycle, ambulance and fire engine. The right brachium deform. The Rise 4 deform. The movability share. It can turn 90. Firefighterm. And that's why you shouldn't use eBay when you're drunk. Recently, some genius had the idea to re-release some of our favourite little Autobots from the old days as keychains. I don't know about anyone else, but I found that a tiny bit insulting, but I bought them all anyway. First up is Brawn. As I'm sure we all remember, Brawn was the first guy to bite it in the great cast cull of '86. He was the first on his feet when Megatron made his move. He wasn't even armed, he just got right up there, because he was like that. And then... It was kind of lame, I think, because... legs are really, really long, but the arms are just kind of stubby. He's like a T-Rex over here. The car mode's pretty cute, though, I suppose. On to Windcharger, then. We've got perhaps the most unceremonious of all Autobot deaths. I mean, he was hardly in the cartoon, and then he was just dead. The robot mode's pretty neat, I think. It's actually all in proportion, for once. The legs are great. I mean, they're kind of shiny. The arms are cool, but he doesn't really have a face. I love the car mode, though. It's just spot on. Look at these big monster truck wheels there. The other one they re-released that I picked up was Cliffjumper, but that one writes itself.
Cliffjumper is a redeco. Redecos are lame. I, however, am lamer, because I bought all of them. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dare.
First up is Swindle, who's basically my hero. Check out his sweet shades. He's also got this wicked logo thing which actually rotates. Awesome. He looks pretty super bad with this big 4x4 grill all up in your grill. But then you've got these weak arms. I'm a bit scared to move them in case they snap off. And of course his puny gun, which I've mentioned before, and is actually smaller than his pint-sized G1 incarnation. But he's still among my favourites just because of the way he looks. That red guy again, it's Windcharger, and he's brilliant. Check out his awesome beefy chest plate. His car mode is about as perfect as they come. It has a choice of 2 roofs, one of which works as a shield. Looks kind of weedy from the side though, a bit like a cardboard cutout. Again, he's got the trademark Alternators lame weapon. A bit of an identity crisis as well. Is he supposed to be Windcharger or Overdrive? Doesn't really look like either of them. And now Wheeljack, who basically consummately sucks. I can't seem to get him to stand up straight. His legs are always at this kind of wacky angle, and the same goes for his head. Seems to have been moulded wonky. Bad construction. Doesn't look like Wheeljack either, apart from his head, really. Would it have been so hard to give him green and red stripes? Plus, the transformation is not impossible, mainly because of the arms, and also partly because of these confusing-ass instructions. I mean, I don't even know what's going on there. I actually had to take the doors off to get him to transform right. His car mode's pretty rubbish as well. The roof doesn't go on right. It's just really frustrating. And plus, since when did Wheeljack have a sword? Alright, since he was a redeco of Grimlock. Give me a break. Well, I'm moving house again in a few days, and there's probably going to be a little less space on the shelf. So it's time to decide what goes along with all Pretender Beasts, Action Masters, Knockoffs, and a few other choice items into the NAF box. First thing I want to show you is the legendary Duocon Battletrap. Duocons were a prime example of a great idea, horrendously executed. First off, this thing has like 0 articulation. All he can do is like bend over a little bit. Also, I'm sure you've noticed he hasn't actually got any arms. And if you leave him on a shelf, he's got all 4 of his wheels active there on the bottom, so he'll just roll the hell right off. Number 2 is Flamefeather. He was part of a group of Transformers released at some point that had a gimmick where you could like push them along and they generate sparks. Of course, that only lasted like a day at the most. Again, zero articulation. The robot mode looks terrible. The alt mode is ridiculous. It's just a mess. Everything about it is terrible. This thing here is Terradive. I can't remember what kind of group he belonged to. The main issue I have is these kibblerific shoulders. They couldn't really have thought that looked good, could they? I suppose, though, the alt mode is alright. But in general, yeah, it's still pretty naff. And probably the only one anyone's heard of, Cosmos. I know, it's blasphemy to say anything bad about the minibots, but come on, give me a break. Look at this thing. What's that? Are they arms? Let's look at the big picture. You're coming to Earth, you're trying to be in disguise. And you disguise yourself as an alien spaceship. It's preposterous. I mean, I can't even...
The Big Bang.
I've just picked up this thing, which is the paperback collection of the latest 5 Spotlight issues from IDW. Basically 5 different characters' perspectives on the same storyline, so I thought I'd have a look at those characters myself. Kicking it off is this guy, who should need no introduction. He's got to be one of the most iconic and recognisable Transformers. I mean, everyone knows this guy, right? The tape guy. It's Soundwave. But yeah, the robot mode is awesome, which is a good thing because I broke off his head when I was a kid, and I had to super glue it back on, which means it now won't turn. So this is the best I can do at the moment, unfortunately. Still, check out these features. You got the tuner, volume control, the eject button for whomever. This is Buzzsaw. My favourite is the battery compartment, where you can keep his weapons. Oops. Let's face it though, Soundwave is a legend. No collection is complete without him, and that is scientific fact. Nosediving into second place is Cup. And oh dear, what's happened here? I mean, look at it, it's the wrong shape, it's the wrong colour. It's only got half a head, check that. The legs are rubbish, and the arms seem to be coming out of his rib cage. Hasbro got some explaining to do here, man. And as for this, what is this thing? Apparently it's a Cybertronian pickup truck. That's pickup, hence cup, so the legend goes. I was gutted when I finally got hold of this thing. Gutted. Tempted to open the NAF box up again. Holy crap! They didn't do this guy justice, did they? You can't possibly compare this to the Galvatron in the fiction. I mean, it's no Cup, but it's a huge, clunky mess, and that's actually the best thing about it. You have to love this thing for what it is, and what it is a huge alien robot of the Earthling conquering variety. And before you disagree...
Dein Frau ist dick und du bist ein Königin. Dein Schwanz ist sehr klein. Alter die Klappe und listen to Kraftwerk.
Canon mode's no better, really. It's big and bright.
Robot Lab. Robotic race dancing.
Does this really count as a third mode? I mean, I guess so. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Optimus Prime. O to the P to the Optimus Prime. Let's get this over with. Optimus Prime is perfect. Robot mode's superb. It's in perfect proportion, and it's impressive. It looks like a leader. Let's not forget the trailer as well. Good old roller. That thing. The claw, the missile launchers. All right there, buddy.
You got the touch! You got the power!
No one can really deny the ultimateness of the vehicle mode either. This thing is colossal. Some fool ripped the stickers off when I was a kid. It wasn't me, I swear. There's nothing bad about this toy whatsoever. Except for these things. What am I supposed to do with these? And finally today is Ramjet, who's pretty wicked, but sadly I don't have his G1 toy. The closest thing I have to it is World's Smallest Thrust, who's kind of cool I suppose, but he just has too many freaking accessories. Anyway, Ramjet, yeah, it's pretty wicked actually. He's basically the same as Starscream, except he looks a fair bit badder with his pointy head and his mean face and these big oversized missile launchers. I just wish they'd done his wings in red. In the cartoon I always thought he was wearing a cape. Play mode's pretty sweet too, check that out. Check the detail on the wings, it's wonderful. But I'm going to have to leave it there because I've now got to move house again.